Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mandeep, and in today's video, we are going to build one API using ChatGPT, and we are going to sell it on Rapid API platform. People who are not aware about Rapid API is a platform where developers develop and build their API and then deploy on this platform, and then they sell it. They get recurring revenue for their API. So just an example, let me show one of the API. So you can see like any particular requirement, and here we are checking an API for the QR code, and you can see all of the detail about this particular API. So endpoints, about tutorials and pricing. So for example, for this particular API, these are the different plans: basic, pro and ultra, and these are the pricing. So so user for this API can choose the plan accordingly, and they can pay to the creator of this API. So the similar way, we are going to create one API, and we are going to deploy it on this Rapid API platform, and we are going to create our API using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a really powerful tool. So here is this is the ChatGPT. People who are not aware about ChatGPT, is a chatbot which is released by OpenAI, and it has really powerful features. You ask anything and it can do for you. So let's get started with today's exercise. Very first of all, so let's say we are going to generate an API. We are going to create an API for this QR code generator. Assume that we want an API for the QR code generator. So for this, what you need to type something like this: code for Python Flask API server that take the GET request with URL as a string and convert it to the QR code image and send it back as API response. So once you ask this question, you can see ChatGPT will start generating the code for it. And here you can, now the code generation part is complete. What we are going to do is we are going to basically copy this code, and what we are going to do, and we are going to paste into our this particular editor. We can use any editor for it. Here we are using the VS Code editor. So once we paste this code, now the code is pasted. Once we paste this code, what we can do is we can go to our command prompt, and we can run this particular file. This file is qr.py. So let me run it. So for that, what we can do is Python qr.py. So now my server is running, and after this, what we can do is, for this, we can go here, and when we generated this code, you can see that this ChatGPT has given us this URL as to test our API. So what this API will do, this API will generate a QR code and it will download it as a file. So for this, to test this, what we can do is, since our code is running at 5,000, and this is my query parameter QR code, and this is the particular URL. You can pass any URL here, and you can see that once I hit on this URL, now this QR code is generated. So you can see that this is the QR code generated. So if I change the URL here again, earlier it was example.com, now I have changed this to google.com. So if I hit here, and you can see that my another image is generated, and if I open it, you can see that this is generating my QR code. Now once this part is done, what we can do is we need to deploy this to some cloud, this API. So to deploy this in onto some cloud, we are going to use this pythonanywhere.com. So if you have not created an account on this, you can create on this platform. And once you create an account on this, what you can do is you will go to the this particular page, the home page, and you can click on open web tab. Do this, add new web app. Then next, and select the server web framework, because we are using Python. You can check the Python version as well. And then next, Now, once you do this, after this, you need to scroll down and go to this option. Go to directory, click on this, open this file, flask app.py, and now copy the code from your editor. So this is the complete code, and copy this, and you can select it and paste here. So once you now you can save this file. Once you save this, now once you save this file, click on here this option, my site, and then click on web. Now after reloading our server, you can click here. Sorry, what we need to do is we need to open it in new tab. Open it in new tab. Now, after opening this, you can see that it is giving me some error. Now, this error is because we do not have set up the base URL or the home URL for our app. We can ignore this for this time. Do this URL, and so here what we can do is we can take this URL, and now if I enter here, you can see that now it has downloaded the file, and this is from this URL curve0python.anywhere.com, and this is the parameter, and this is the URL. So if I change it to some another URL, it will download one more QR code for me. So now my code is working, and it has been deployed on pythonanywhere.com. Now our API is live and working. Now it's time to publish our API onto the Rapid API platform. So for that, again, you need to, if you have not created an account on this platform, first you need to create an. Now, once you come here, and then you can click on My APIs. Once you click on My APIs, a new page will load, and you can create an Add API project here. Now, after adding details over this page, we can move to the next page. After this, we need to go to hub listing. Now this thing here we can fill few details. This is optional. This is documentation is optional. Website is again optional. All these things are the optional. And here we can see that I confirm and I confirm. Server. Now copy the URL of our API, which was this one. This was our base URL. So for this base URL, what we can do is we can go to here, and we can add this base URL here. You can see that add base URL here. Now this is my base URL. After clicking on endpoints, we can click on create REST endpoint, and then we can add the endpoint detail here. Now here we can add the endpoint, and we can give the name. QR code endpoint. And this is my QR code endpoint, and I can enter this as base URL, and here we can add the parameters. Now parameter is my URL. In our case, it is URL. Now after this, what we can do is we can save it. Yes. Now after clicking this, what we can do is we can click on this this link, view in hub. Once we click on this, it will be our testing area. Once we click on view in hub, it will give me the the testing area where we can test our. We can click on test endpoint, and we can check our API is working or not. You can see that now the response has been received 200. Okay, and it has given me a QR code as well, QR code image as well. So that means our API is working here. Now coming back to this, and we can click on monetize option. Now here we can set our details as per our requirement, like how many rupees or dollars what we want to sell this API. Just add all these details, and now we can add pricing over here. First of all, let me do the basic pricing here, and here you can see that plan type is monthly subscription, or switching plan will cause you to rewrite all of the objects. Sorry. From here we can set the limit, like how we want to control the traffic on our API. So let's say I'm saying that under this plan, you will get 10 requests per hour, and a subscription price is, let's say I keep it as $10. Now after this, we can save these changes. Now save these changes. Now you can see that it is showing me that $10 per month. And the same way, let's say I add another plan as well. So rate limit in this plan, let's say I'm keeping it as 100, and let's say per hour. And here I can keep the any price, some sample price, let's say 100, sorry, let's say $30 per $30. And let's say if I save the changes, now you can see that there are two options, basic and pro, and now my plans are set. The same way I can set the third plan as well. Let's say in this plan, I give my users to 200 requests per hour, and let's say my price for this is $50, and you can just save it, and you can see that we have three plans for our API, and now we can now we are done with it. Now what we can do is, you can see that now my QR code API is live, and it is available for the users. User can go and check it out, and when any user will be using my API, I'll be paid as per the plan they will subscribe. So that's all for this video, guys. Stay tuned for more such videos, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. Thanks for watching.